that one, talking all that bullshit. I'ma put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. But you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes, but is not limited to, that's my mama Joe. That's my mama Joe. That's my mama Joe. Hey, what's poppin', Mama Joe?
Hello, good morning.
We got you in the building.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the Joe Show.
Bad news for you. Jesse didn't come today, so you have big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And a very big chair, quite literally.
Right.
Mama Joe looks so small in this chair.
Yes. Well, she also does the Jesse Mike thing where
Oh yeah, where
her
she likes
face
to cover
disappears.
everything.
It's like
the Wilson from whatchamacallit?
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement, thank you. Yeah, so Jesse does most of the talking, if you're not
Sure.
familiar
That's
with
why I
the
was
show.
asking if he was coming today.
I noticed a little bit of anxiety in your voice when you asked that, and I thought you were afraid that like you would have to move chairs or something. Now I understand. It's that your word count just went up
I
by
can't
about...
just hide here.
No, yeah. Lamanna's not going to save you.
no.
True.
Well,
Unless we talk about them pirates.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends. If Conrad's gonna take over, then we can just be here in silence and hidden.
Conrad's
Feel
sick.
Take over what? I'm just here, you know, so I don't get fined.
A lot of truth in that statement.
There is a lot of truth in that statement. We'll get to you momentarily. I mean, you're look. Let me give you the proper introduction.
That's from Mama Joe.
Yeah, everything Conrad said is very true, but the real truth of the matter is, and I'm sure people think that Melissa wears this hat, but you are the agent of chaos of our group chat.
100%.
And that has been your role since day one. Nobody else knows this but me. I mean, I think people are aware now.
Yeah.
But like the second that we added Joanne to the chat, it was agent of chaos is here.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the personality of Joe.
Chaotic good.
Right. As Landon would say, chaotic good. Upper right. Wait.
Upper right.
Chaos good. I don't remember the
The
axes.
very extreme chaotic.
Yeah.
All the way.
Turn the dial up. Yeah, so you've been around for quite some time. This is all new to everybody else though. This is your third appearance on stream? Fourth?
Maybe fourth or fifth.
Bally, HCL,
WPT.
WPT, and now Venetian. You made your rounds. You played every fucking stream.
Yeah.
You're off to the lodge next, and then we're going to hang it up.
It
Was
can finally
Bally's
be
the first
over.
one, Mama Joe?
I did Stones a long time ago. Does that count?
You're
Was
being
Postle
cheated.
in the game?
Yeah.
Hostel was not in the game.
So you won.
You're still being cheated somehow.
Was Veronica in the game?
Veronica was in the game.
Wait, so did you know Veronica before you knew us?
Yes.
Yes, the first time I met her, we met like at a train station to go play at Stones together.
Oh, okay.
So I met her on the internet. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get in this internet person's car and with all this money and
Wow, that's exactly how I met Veronica as well. That's not a joke. First time I was face to face with her, she was giving me a ride to Stones to get cheated by Postle. I had like $50K in my bag.
I somehow won, so that was good. No cheating. I didn't get cheated that I know of. Didn't get robbed.
Yeah. If they
And-
did cheat you, it wasn't for enough, obviously.
What's that?
If they did cheat you, it wasn't for enough.
Yeah. Didn't get kidnapped, so that was good.
And at that time, you were a working woman, not in the not the traditional sense.
I think I had quit my job maybe a year before that.
And to clarify, it was web development.
Yeah, it was in the tech industry. It made me really sad to go to work every day, so I just stopped going.
Very relatable as we shut this place down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. How long have I known you now? 7 years?
Something like that.
Yes,
Pretty close.
It is 7.
I don't fully know your backstory
6.
either. There's like lore there. Like I've heard, like I know like the cursory. She worked in tech. May or may not have exited some sort of tech company along the way, selling to Yahoo, and now plays poker.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I'm a workaholic. I just work. Nothing. There's not really anything else going on.
You forgot about the baccarat days. She used to be a professional baccarat player.
I didn't know this.
Wait, actually, Conrad's joking, but actually, when I was working in tech, me and my coworkers would come visit Vegas, and we would play high stakes baccarat.
How high stakes?
Not that high. Like, well, I would only do like 100, but you get to sit in the nice room.
Oh, you were in the baccarat lounge. Was Arden Cho there?
Not that I.
She frequents it often.
I don't think so.
Did you get nice things? They should be comping you.
My friends got nice things, so we got to stay in nice rooms, nice food.
Mama Joe just went to hang out.
Yeah, I was just there to participate. I'm not a gambler really. I don't like losing.
I wouldn't say that with those jacks the other night.
Hey, I'm still going to defend this hand. I love it.
We all thought
that's a clear.
It's the first thing I said to Mama Joe when I came in. I saw her and I go, listen, I really like this play with jacks, which immediately told me, oh, it probably wasn't great.
If there's a clear indication that the hand was a punt. Old man coffee in the corner over there, loving this play.
I loved it. I was yelling at the TV. I'm like, it's going to get through.
I'll tell you who didn't love it is the commentators. They hate that you were going all in. Like, it just wasn't a bet that was allowed to occur.
That was interesting to hear. It wasn't even that big. Like, 2x pot is not that big.
Right.
It's abundantly clear that Remco's never jammed for 2x pot in his entire life. Because this was, like, mind-blowing to both him and Ashley in a lot of these spots. Which, I know where your head was at here. Or at least I think I do anyway. So it was a single raise pot, right? Yeah. Single raise pot. Obviously, you have a good hand. You see bet. You get called. Turn ace. Polarizing cards for your range. You check back. Okay, fine, whatever. The decision to go for it on the river, though I think it's like the wrong hand to do it with because it doesn't matter that you block Jack 10. She only has Jack 10 of spades, maybe clubs. And you block neither of those. So that's not really important. But just being able to find jams over like these middling value sizes.
It's fucking gangster.
Yeah, it's so good.
I thought it was awesome.
It's fucking gangster.
Speaking of the action,
You thought it was awesome?
I thought it was fucking awesome.
She's gonna come with all of it.
Wow. You don't want, like,
She just puts Haley all in with jacks here.
No, that's not like
I don't know what we're supposed to do. I can't talk over them. They're so loud. You thought it was awesome, but you also told me you wouldn't jam King Queen.
I would not jam King
That's
Queen.
the only hand you're shoving for value.
Hey, look, I didn't tell you I was good at poker, man. I'm just telling you what I would do.
Like in this line, your best hand is King Queen for sure. I mean, I guess like Ace Queen you could have. Those are your only two pair plus hands, right? But yeah, I think that like that looks foreign. Though this is 25-50, I think like most everybody here more routinely plays like 5-10, and you just don't see this stuff there. Or at least you didn't back in my day. Let me tell you about back in my day, Mama Joe. Overbetting was about as illegal as check raising. So I think I was on board with the commentary there. What was your game plan going in here? I mean, you've played with at least half of these women before.
I didn't have a plan. I was just gonna try to play the best I good in the situations I was given. I wasn't really going to try to change anything too drastically. I know a couple people maybe don't like to fold, so maybe I won't
Don't bluff them as
do
much.
anything too squirrely versus them. But
Too mermaidy, you mean?
So what you're saying to me then is, on the average day, you're heading down to the Wynn or the Bellagio, sitting in your normal game, a little 5-10, maybe a little 10-20 if it runs. And we can expect you to just be all in for 3x pot 5 times in a day.
yeah, I like being all in.
Okay. Welcome to our group chat.
You just get this like death stare from her.
I'm
I'm all in.
I gotta tell you, I'm watching at home, and like these hands are occurring, and like, you know, literally the first hand I turn on, it's on the river, and you have the deuces versus Lily, and I just see you say all in, and I'm just like, yeah, obviously. It's like everybody's, you know, the commentary's erupting like, oh, this is way too much, blah 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 blah, and you know, everybody's commenting in the chat or whatever, and I'm just thinking like, what size would you guys pick?
The fact that she spent 9 minutes in the tank is clear indication that it wasn't too much.
I do wish I bet bigger on the turn.
Turn.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah, reduce the river size.
What was
Yeah,
your
just-
size on the turn?
500.
Like
Small.
25%.
Yeah.
But
I got good.
Yeah, it happens.
especially when the bright lights are on.
I
Yeah.
defended it. I don't.
Everyone was playing so fast.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fat turbo table. I like that.
Yeah,
Turbo
it was good.
table's nice.
That's how poker's supposed to be played. I don't know what you're talking about.
Poker's supposed to be played
I didn't
fast
say I was complaining. I just
and
noticed
loose.
Yes.
it was quick.
Fast and
We've
loose.
talked about this many times.
Yes.
If you want to be of value to anybody in this space, you got to play fast and loose.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama Joe has submitted her resume for a fast and loose player.
It has been accepted.
She is stepped out on the scene. So you
A
were
volume player, if you will.
right. Yes, absolutely.
Matt, is the only critique here that the size on the turn should have been bigger?
I think so. Yeah. Sam doesn't like the flop pot size, but I think it's really good strategy.
I like it.
I like
Then
it
you
too.
can get stacks. You can get all in.
Yeah, he's just a tournament guy, man. You know, he just wants to bet half pot a bunch and live and let live.
If you guys don't know who they're talking about, it's God.
Turn.
Right.
It's weird because I've never heard Sam say anything bad about anybody's play ever.
With the straight face.
What?
The tortoise bringing the comedic relief.
We gotta
Yeah,
get
we got to get God in the seat.
We got to get Laskowitz on the
We
pod.
definitely need to get him in here.
We only
for
have
sure.
a couple days
Bring
left.
some negativity.
When
to
does
this
that?
podcast.
If this thing
Should be a
reboots,
positive around here.
if this thing reboots, I'm gonna have a contract offer for him waiting on his doorstep. I can assure you.
I already have this heavenly like soundtrack that I can
Much-
angels singing and stuff. Oh, it's so
There's so much that can be done. Like, it'll be so nice to have somebody else to gaslight instead of me. You know, it's just like he's so ripe for it, and everybody here. I mean, like, as easily as you align against me, imagine how easy it is against
So
God.
easy.
Yeah.
No, it's easy.
It's just too good. And like the amount of times that we're gonna get into spats over who can dunk a basketball when neither of us can currently touch the rim.
I was
Just
impressed yesterday.
wonderful.
What happened yesterday?
I'm a goddamn athlete, man.
We were trying to see if we could touch those rafters downstairs, and Matt's got
There's a list.
a little vertical.
So this is gonna catch legs. By the way, you're gonna end up getting in. I messaged it to Barber yesterday. He's like, I'm fucking in. So it's a list of it's called the Men Over 30 Decathlon. And it's 10 like not exercises, but like things you would perform in the gym.
Yeah, I kind of saw it.
Okay. And one of them is a 24-inch standing vertical jump. So we were just like kind of guesstimating, like we had a 10-foot ceiling, give or take, and we have these mounted lights that are about 3 or 4 inches off. And, you know, just sticking my hand up, I was like, yeah, I would imagine like if I can touch the 10-foot ceiling, like that's for sure 24 inches. And I just like grazed the light. So maybe I'm like 2 inches off.
That's bigger than 10 feet downstairs.
These rafters?
Yeah, downstairs.
I don't think so.
I do.
Why?
Because I've jumped it before. By the way, I looked at that list.
I don't think that matters.
By the way, I looked at that list. It's 10 feet is a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can grab that no problem.
Here we go, Laskowitz. You got a contender.
You guys realize I can do everything on that
I've-
list without blinking, right?
Oh, here we
Oh
go.
my
Oh,
gosh.
without
Is it-
blinking.
Without,
I want to see you.
Yeah,
I want to
pull-
see you
pull the
2.5.
list up.
You're gonna trap bar deadlift 2.5
Yeah.
times your body weight.
I wanna
That's
see
prob-
that.
Wait, trap bar is what?
Connie, stop.
Is that the one that you do? I don't fucking do any of this.
Your resting heart rate's already under 50 beats per minute.
Is that this?
Yeah.
When you do this?
No.
Well, you have to stand.
Those are your traps, but it's a trap bar. It's a deadlift,
That's
right?
the one that we have in the
Yeah.
kitchen. I mean,
Yeah,
in the
in the
kitchen.
garage.
In the
You can rub you can run a sub 5-minute mile.
What's
Bro,
two-
his resting heart rate
240?
is
No way.
his resting heart rate is a hamster in a wheel going 1,000,000 miles an hour.
That might be the only thing.
That might be the only.
You can run a
thing.
sub
Right.
5-minute mile right now.
Right.
Oh, there's a 5-minute mile. I didn't see that. I could do 6.
Wasn't there a marathon
I
on
should've
there?
A marathon.
Yeah, this guy's just gonna run a
This
marathon
guy's just gonna
right
be
now.
vaping while he's fucking running 26 miles.
I mean, I would. Wait, 26 miles.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
marathon.
that's a marathon.
Oh no, never mind. I quit.
Oh wow!
I'm not
Shocker.
running a
I
fucking
could just
mile.
do this entire list with my eyes closed.
Well, anything that's not running, I can do.
3 things on there are running.
Wait, I can do.
30%.
Hold on.
40% is just out the window.
What is it? Sub 5 second. What is
40 yard dash.
it? I can do that.
Okay. Okay. I mean, book.
What else is there?
The
The mile. I'm out. Okay, go on.
20-minute 5K.
which is like 3.3 miles, I think.
Okay, I'm out on that one. And what's the last one?
Marathon.
Oh yeah, I'm out on this.
But everything else. like,
Everything else, like that, either jumping, the broad jump, all
Resting
that
heart
shit.
rate below 50.
How much do you
BPM.
weigh? How much, roughly?
185.
185?
Yeah.
Okay, so like we're talking like
450.
320
No.
or
more than
420, I mean.
Like 450.
Wow, we're bad at math here.
Yeah.
185 plus 185.
360 plus 9. Yeah, 450.
370.
that. Plus another.
I was doing
half of-
180 in my
Yeah,
head.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's not deadlifting 450, 460.
I think he could.
He
Yeah?
see
Yeah.
me.
Is it? I think deadlifting is like, it's, you can,
Trap bar deadlifting is easier
It's very
for what it's
easy.
worth. Mama can tell you all about it.
yeah.
Mama does some deadlifts.
I try to.
Like, what could you do?
I don't know. I haven't deadlifted in many years, but I have a relatively high degree of
I
confidence
would think
I
that
could
would
do.
be part of your routine.
No, everything I do is unilateral because I get hurt.
Okay.
I'm old
Fair
and
enough.
creaky.
That's fair enough.
I do like single leg deadlifts.
What do you mean by unilateral?
Single leg, single arm.
Oh, gotcha.
So I do single leg deadlifts with dumbbells,
Mhm.
and I could do 100 pretty easily.
Yeah.
I think I could do 2.5 times my body weight on a trap bar,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I haven't tested it. We're gonna find out.
So you don't bench press?
I do dumbbell press.
Dumbbell press.
I haven't touched a straight bar bench since the Iron Pit days in high school.
Yeah.
So the last time I flat bar benched, I was 18. I think I did 285, and my feet were probably on the bench with my my hips as high in the air as humanly possible. You know,
Yeah.
3 people on each side,
Of course.
not touching the bar.
There we go. That's
Yeah,
what you have to do.
but that was 35 pounds, and that
Right.
guy was a fucking behemoth.
yeah,
I don't know why they picked a weight that he could curl.
I think they were
I think
showing
you're just showing the form.
demonstrate.
Just showing the form.
Yeah. Trap bar deadlifts is easier. I will say the last time, because I did used to do some like trap bar stuff. The last time I really loaded it, I hurt myself.
Oh, I can't do 10 strict pull-ups either.
Yeah.
I
Oh
could do-
my God.
I could
if
do
you
like-
can't do 10 strict pull-ups, like,
I could do like 8.
okay, so you can do half of the list at most.
I, could
I don't know
do
why that
a little
surprised you,
more.
Burke. Like, not very many people.
He's
could do
claiming
that.
he can deadlift 2.5 times his weight.
He's
But I
full
can't-
of shit, though.
But I can't do pull-ups. That's correct. I can't do pull-ups. That's it.
right.
Like I just don't have the form for
I'm
pull-ups.
trying to think if there's anything on that list that you could do.
I can do
I
anything.
think
Just
he's
jumping.
definitely got-
I
I think
can
he's
do
definitely
got the
anything.
The broad
Jumping,
jump for sure.
The
He's got the
vertical
vertical.
jump.
Right.
The anything that has to do with jumping, I can do it in a heartbeat. That's not even a question. The 5 second, sub 5 second, 40-yard dash, not a question.
I call.
We can go right now.
Like, I think-
Do we have a Roman camera in this motherfucker?
I think there's.
I think I might take Connie's side.
I
on the
think if
40.
you can't run sub 5 now, you could certainly train into running sub 5, no problem. But like this confidence that you can just get cold off the couch, having not run in maybe 20 plus years, and just do something like that is laughable. I'm sorry, it just is. It's as bad as God telling me that he could dunk while his belly's hanging over his fucking.
Right. It's because
like I used to dunk in high school. It's like, all right,
Exactly.
well, you're
Like,
60 pounds later.
exactly. Like we
I-
forget that like how far
I weigh the same.
in the past high school was.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I used to do that all the time. Why
I
can
don't
do
forget.
it now?
I dunked in college. I don't think I can dunk now,
Yeah.
but God damn it, maybe I could try.
Yeah.
I've dunked once in my life, and I don't think I can dunk now, but I can jump, grab rim easily without like one step.
When was the last time?
Not too long ago.
No,
What?
you were
5,
just hanging
10
around
years
a
ago?
basketball hoop.
No, somewhere in the last probably 3 or 4 years.
I hate him.
Anytime I see a basketball hoop, I jump. What do you mean? You know?
Yeah, you just see him all the time.
Yeah, I get
Wandering the
I'm just-
strip, you know,
I'm just-
walking through the Venetian. Look, a basketball hoop.
I'm just driving down the block. I see the basketball hoop. I get out of the car. I jump. I
Right,
get
yeah.
back in. You know? I actually leave the car running while I do it.
Right, in your flip flops. Yeah, no, this all makes a ton of sense.
No, I definitely could
Uh,
grab her easily.
I briefly mentioned this, but jokes aside, when are you going to get back into powerlifting? I mean, this was the thing for a while, no?
I've been trying to get back on it. Not actually trying, because if I were, I would actually do it. But
You're thinking about it.
I've been in the gym, not with consistency, for the past couple months.
But you've correct me if I'm wrong. You've dabbled like in actual like powerlifting.
Yeah.
So that's bench, squat, deadlift, yes?
Yeah, Olympic lifting. And you got yoked.
I got thick.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I have a picture. And sometimes I just look at it and I'm like, wow.
It's just incredible.
You got to send that to chat.
I have sent it like multiple
Oh,
times.
really? Okay.
Hang this in the gym.
Man, this whole time I thought it was a picture of you with like a frying pan where you know, you put it on your butt to make it look like it's more bubbled out.
I was like this.
Somebody would say, "What is different?"
That's true.
What is different?
Your attitude. I don't know where to go with all of this. I'm
Where
sorry.
do you go?
She's squirreling today.
What are you-
Katsumi's today.
Yeah.
What are you doing up? What are
Me?
you doing today?
I got to play.
You got to play. I've heard you were crying on the podcast the other day.
About what?
Losing.
No.
Losing what?
Not about losing.
Yesterday.
I was bemoaning my current plight in life.
Bemoaning is definitely adjacent to crying.
And I was brooding a bit over the fact that I got called down to the Venetian to play one goddamn hand.
You played it well.
It's debatable. I certainly maximized in the spot. I did not win it. So, you know.
The fucking paid be real, man.
Yeah, no, things aren't. Look, only one of us can win, and Mama Joe got that. There, we are similar. We suffer in silence, and then we get to play on live streams, and we win all the money.
Yeah.
And that's
I do
fine.
not suffer in silence, though. I make sure you guys know.
Yeah, we know. I was going to say, she has never suffered in silence.
You guys get at most 10% of the pain that I'm going through, which I'm sure feels like I'm complaining all the time. So just know that it's 9 times worse than what you guys are actually seeing in the group chat.
So you're trying to say we should get you a psychiatrist or something?
No. I think a nice place to lay me to rest would be a much more efficient alternative.
Okay.
Perfect.
Lots of pressure.
Yeah, I think at some point you just got to hang it up. All right. Tell us more about you. So when did you move to Vegas?
I have no idea. Maybe
17?
6.5 years ago.
2018?
something
Something like that. Yeah.
2018? Yeah, that sounds about right. That's when I built my house. That would make sense. Yeah, you're still on the house chat.
I'm still in the house chat. I tried to leave and then
You own the house. It's because you are the administrator of the house chat.
You're never allowed to leave any of our chats.
yes, I understand now.
You must understand such
I keep
things.
trying to leave and you guys won't let me leave.
No.
You can actually leave the house chat, but you have to give somebody else admin Preferably, the guy who owns the house. But yeah, I've noticed the house chat is many people who do not live there any longer.
Yes.
It's actually.
I don't need to be in there.
You're not.
Wait, there's a separate from.
Look at him. The guy doesn't even check the fucking normal chat. Talk about there's another chat.
Yeah, why do you guys have so many?
What do you think? We're just gonna have a copy chat just in case Lamanna didn't see the other one.
But I'm saying you have. I thought that was the house chat that evolved into what it is now.
No.
Sort of. That's partly true.
It was everybody that was from the house and me.
We had another
and then
chat.
you just started adding people.
We had another chat we talk shit about you in. It's called the house chat.
Okay.
Yeah. we do have a lot of duplicate chats. Like the podcast chat is the same as our group chat, except it has Nikki and Hunt.
Right.
And then the normal group chat is the same as the house chat, except it has you and Guapo.
Well, see, you had a chat, and then it got too convoluted with a bunch of just nonsense. So you had to start the podcast chat so we could just focus on stuff for the podcast. But then that got when we put assets in there, we couldn't see them because it was too crazy. So we had to create the podcast asset chat.
Brian. The real reason why we have so many chats.
It sounds organized
is
to me.
so we can talk shit about the person that's not in the chat in the other
That's actually true.
How about this? Remove me from all of them, and
Brian.
you can talk as much shit as you want.
We at you when we talk shit about you.
Oh my God, look at that. That's unbelievable.
Wow,
That was me.
You're getting it.
I didn't know you were stage ready.
That was me in 2020.
Yep.
How many chats exist that I'm not in?
3.
I don't care. I'm just curious. Because he's right.
We just have chats to talk shit about other people. What do you want from me?
It really is kind of that way.
Gotta keep it real, man.
I'm trying to think if we have one that doesn't include Melissa or Landon. I don't think so.
Nope.
They're the Angels. I definitely have one that doesn't include Conrad.
Guapo and I are going to start a group chat. We'll put everybody in it. It's going to be called the positivity chat. And once you say something negative, you're out. And then in a week, it'll just be Guapo and I.
And then you start it back over again.
It's like a Survivor chat.
Yeah. I like that.
We need a Survivor poker game. That's what we need. Survivor live stream.
I've pitched this idea before.
It's the best idea in poker.
I don't know.
I don't know why nobody wants to do it.
Because it takes a lot of work and production and nobody cares.
But it
No
makes it
one's watching.
fun. That would make people watch if they get to vote a motherfucker off.
Chat engagement's tough.
It is.
Audience engagement's tough. It's easy at a grand scale, like real Survivor. When you have millions and millions of people watching live.
What about 1,000? Maybe 2.
A little tougher. But if anybody can do it, I think Ingram can. He's the agent of
the Legion?
The Legion, yeah. He rallies the troops, gets the people going.
I mean, if their input was taken, I think that anybody can, because it would be fun. It's just like being a participant in the game, and
Yeah.
it makes you feel like you're not sitting on the sidelines. You got to vote somebody off. Get them out of here. Get them out of here.
I think they just enjoy arguing with the commentators. There was a lot of people rallying for Mama Joe,
Well, Mama Joe is a fucking star.
Dark Knight was just in there
Thank
white
you.
knighting for Mama Joe. No, the shove's good. You guys are leaving value on the table. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Hell yeah, Dark Knight.
Dark Knight was the best.
Hell yeah, let them know. Let the people know.
Connie, Matt, do you guys get nervous when you go on stream? Matt, at you at this point, probably not anymore, right?
So I was talking to Joanne about this. She said, and maybe you can speak a little bit about this, but you just kind of felt run over the next day.
Yeah, I could not think. I actually drove to the Wynn to change my Venetian chips out because I knew the Venetian floor would be there working. And so I put my name on the list to play since I was going to be there, and I couldn't even figure out what chip denominations I wanted, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I just went back home.
Yeah, I was talking to Mama Joe about this earlier, and I just to this day, even to go play live cash, even though I'm playing small stakes, I always get a little nervous just waiting to get to the table. And it's not until I play a pot that I'm okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. I just can't imagine playing on stream and having to analyze everything that you're doing and how it's going to be seen and what people are going to say and so on and so forth.
I don't give a fuck.
For me, it was always the pace of play. Stream isn't I don't think there's like nerves attached to it. I don't know if I ever really had like a lot of nerves attached to it, but the pace of play is so grueling. I really appreciate the Venetian dealers. There was points where you guys were all in.
Swipe.
And it was like,
I was so happy.
It was whenever you had Kings versus Lynn's 5-4.
Yeah.
So you guys get all in on the flop, and you decide to run it twice or whatever, and the dealer just goes, turn river. I'm just
so
like, wow,
perfect.
that was absolutely incredible. Like, not even a sweat for us at home. I will say, as an audience member, though, I understand why they go slower.
Yeah, of course. That's good for the players, not good for the audience.
Yeah.
which-
I'm just like, wait, what happened?
yeah.
The one thing I do not like about live streams is lights. You would think I'm nervous because I'm sweating because the lights are just so much.
Yeah, that I never really understood that. I don't think I've ever been on a live stream set where it was just like, well, the old live at the bike room was tough because it was either way too hot or way too cold. It was this like corridor, and there was an AC control, and for whatever reason, the players were the ones in charge. And it's like, if you would set the AC at like 72, the table was 85. But if you set the AC at like 68, the table was like 12. Because like the vents were like, right above you. So it's
Right.
like, if it was on, you were in the Arctic.
Right.
But the second it kicked off, everybody's just like dripping sweat. It's just like, okay, well, this is absolutely the worst case scenario.
Tortoise, have you been on any TV tables?
World Series.
Oh yeah. World Series.
Got a little
Once.
time.
Yeah, a little. Made the feature table there.
What in the
That's
main?
about it.
Oh yeah, your glasses.
Yeah.
Forgot about the glasses.
No, I didn't have the glasses on.
You know, the
No,
glasses?
not for the.
No.
No, this is much more recent. He had the Leroy Towns shirt on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Shout out to Leroy.
Shout out to Leroy.
But yeah, for me, like the pace of play was always so grueling, and I said to Jouhan, like it probably took me like 200 hours on stream before I didn't feel like an anvil hit me by the end of the stream. Like there's many streams that I've been on, especially at Poker Go, where like that last because they do 2-hour block break, 2-hour block break, 2-hour block, where that last 2-hour block just felt like death, where it's just like, oh my God, this is so slow. Like I'm actually physically in pain.
It's even slower for you, and you're fucking stuck in between Airball and Doug.
That one was
Torturous.
That one was torture, but I think I had already gotten over the hump at that point because I don't remember I remember wanting to play afterwards. Same thing with like Blez. I felt fine afterwards. But for years, like I would play live stream and I felt like the way you described the next day, where it's just like, holy shit. It feels like day 6 in the main event where like every decision is just the most critical thing you're ever going to do for the rest of your life.
I love the main event. The main event is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I love the main event. Makes me so happy.
I got to put in my hours.
Are you playing the main event this year, Mama Joe?
No.
You stop it, Mama Joe. You come play the main event.
Give me $10,000.
I'm sure we can find you $10,000. You come play the main event.
Have you ever played the main?
Really?
Do you care to play the main?
I don't want to pay for it.
Right. That's a good answer.
It's respectable.
Pretty reasonable.
Sell at 1.2 and play for 20% of yourself.
Just win it.
Dark Knight might take all your action.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
True. You proved your excellency to the Dark Knight. Your White Knight.
I thought we all agreed Dark Knight was guapo.
We know it's guapo, so that's why he's literally putting his. He's saying that he's going to put her in.
He outed himself on the Jack's hand.
I still like it. Good job, Mama Joe.
Of course,
We
yeah.
all like it. It was gangster.
You were all in. It was good advertising.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. What's wrong?
I started down this path, but so you moved here in like 2018, and this was like after you had quit your job. Was poker a full-time interest? Like, what was the plan here?
There was no plan. I knew I hated my job, so I stopped that. And I was just playing poker for fun, like some nights, most weekends. And then I was making money there, but also it was California poker, which is a little bit different than here. Also a different time. It was mostly just something I was doing for fun, but I was making some money, so I was like, I'll just do it more, I guess. Worst that could happen. And now look where I
am. Is this the worst that could happen?
I think it could be worse. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when we first met you, you came to the academy around that time, 2018. I think you were playing like 1-3-2-5, maybe.
It was like 1-2-1-3.
Yeah. And now
you're playing
25.
Sky's the limit.
No problem.
Mostly 5-10 now.
5-10. It's your main game. Yeah.
But that's just because 10-20 doesn't really run.
It runs. I'll go in sometimes.
At Bellagio?
At the Win.
At the Win.
Bellagio games Kaputski.
Yeah.
I mean, like it goes sporadically, but the Win seems to have taken all of that middle chunk of like 10-20 plus.
Do you think it's because of the ante? You think it's because of the ante?
No. No one wants to play without an ante except Boston Jimmy. He's the only person on the planet who doesn't want an ante.
No, I mean, that game has an ante.
What game?
The Win game.
The Bellagio game had an ante.
Oh.
I don't know if the Win game does.
The Win
Yeah,
game,
it
all
does.
the 5-10 has an ante and up, right?
5-10 and 10-20
Yeah.
are big blind ante.
But then the private game does not, correct?
I don't know anything about that.
I'm pretty sure the private game doesn't have an ante.
Okay.
I don't think so.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the 5-10 and 10-20 definitely have antes.
Yeah. The 5-10 at Bellagio doesn't, but the 10-20 always has. And it was usually 10-20-40. So no, it's never the ante. Well, I mean, yes, in the way that you were implying it, it might always be the ante. But I doubt that because the Win added in the ante, but they took away straddles.
Yeah.
And I think that they've still just been like doing workarounds a lot when they play. So they'll do a blind raise to 40, minimum 80 bring in.
That's strong.
Yeah. So basically the whole table agrees that if somebody, dead straddles, that you can't limp.
All right. Well, I mean, that should be mandatory anyway.
No limping?
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying the game doesn't, they're not allowed to
good.
straddle in the game at all? Like
Correct.
it's not a live straddle? Is this just for that big game? Or is
No,
it for every
the Win, we talk. It's like you haven't
5,
been
10,
on the
10,
show.
20. No,
I wasn't here for that show.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I was in Pittsburgh.
It wasn't like a week ago,
It was
bro.
months ago.
This was like way back when we had Adam and Ryan on.
Who's Adam and Ryan?
I knew he was going to say that. I was waiting for that.
Adam Pliszka, CEO of
Right.
WPT, and Ryan Bogard,
Okay. Yeah.
poker room manager.
Well, Adam and Ryan are very common names. It could have been anybody.
He was thinking
Right, in
Paula.
this context, for sure, it could have been anyone.
He was thinking Adam 22 and DePaula.
It's all
want me
right.
Yeah, that was. You're right. That was months ago. So definitely not gonna remember.
Right. Yeah. I know you were locked into it whenever we were talking about it, but now, kind of had to make way for new information. You understand.
I feel like I
Conrad's
played.
very unsettling today.
Yeah.
He's
You're right there,
over
Conrad.
here doing shit.
No, I don't feel good.
Seems like you feel great.
Are you gonna play the big Venetian game live stream now that you've dipped your toes into live stream streets?
100, 200?
Yeah, squid. Sometimes 4.
Too poor.
Yeah. So what?
So,
You ever hear shot taking?
That's probably too big.
You could be all in really easy.
I know. I a lot of money.
Ah,
yeah.
50,
One
60,000. You'll be fine.
Okay.
20K
I'm in.
bullets. All right, I'll put you in touch with JRB.
Yeah.
I think Mama Joe would be the fucking star of the game.
No doubt.
We just need to let her. We needed to run good for the first 2 times. And she's in there forever.
You have run quite well on stream.
Yes. Amazing.
The WPT stream, I think, was like your true breakout highlight reel for anybody who wants to go back and watch it. And that lineup was like pretty tough. It was you, Jouhan, Iris, Casey Mills, Lily, and Chrissy? Was Chrissy in the game?
Chrissy was in the game.
Maybe one more?
Was it Jamie?
No.
No.
Lily Newhouse was in there, and then
Oh, she played with you guys?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, what's her name? Pokey.
I said Iris, yeah.
Oh.
Another I forgot her name.
There was 8?
Yeah, not sure.
I think it was just 7. Lily, Chrissy, Iris, you, Jouhan, Casey.
Someone with a big hat. I can't remember her name.
JJ Lou?
No.
Love JJ Lou. Love JJ Lou. What a gangster.
Somebody with a big hat.
Ite.
Ite,
Oh,
yeah. Ite.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, Ite's great.
Yeah, she is.
She's a lot of action.
To be fair,
Mixed game players are always the best.
Mama Jo didn't even run good. Somebody just,
In which game?
threw that one, the WPT one. Somebody just threw money at her.
No, that too. That too, for sure. I thought that was like, I thought you played really, really well in that stream. You okay?
What happened?
I thought you farted.
I moved the mic a little bit,
That was loud.
I'm sorry.
No, I thought you played like really, really well on that particular stream. The spots,
Which stream are you referencing?
WPT ladies
Okay.
game. Like I thought the spots were less clear cut than what you had at the Venetian, where it's just like, okay, so you have bottom set and you eat it all in, and you have kings and you get it all in versus bottom pair. Like this is all pretty nice.
Yeah, it was nice to not be in like a very weird situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when you had value, you basically had to choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
You know, like with the aces, you chose to check back flop, but it's like, it was literally just like choose your own adventure and you're probably going to stack 10s kind of thing. I thought the WPT cash game was like a lot more nuanced than that. Like the spots were a little bit more challenging. You know, you had actual decisions to make, and whether they were perfect or not doesn't really matter because the results worked out. But like, what was your experience with that particular game where, you know, you were kind of more in the streets, like, you know, here? I remember this. You ended up folding this hand, yeah?
Yeah, I tanked forever.
Yeah.
It was really hard because I was put in a lot of situations that I had not been in before. Like,
Oh, Ashley was in this game.
oh yeah, I think Ashley also. I don't know. I just kind of tried to take my time and not let my experiences at 1-3 like
Dictate
my decisions. I tried to like forget a little bit of it, but also it was really weird.
At that point, that was the biggest game you had played, right?
She was playing 1-3,
Yeah,
right?
by far.
You were playing 1-3 regularly, right?
I was in the 1-3 streets.
Yeah.
That's kind of downplaying it a bit. You were like playing as big as 5-10, but also like willing to sit 1-3.
No, this was last December.
Yeah.
The previous December.
2 Decembers ago, yeah.
No, she was just playing 1-3. Pretty
I
sure.
think I was at 1-3 and sometimes 2-5.
Yeah. Were you like super nervous going into this particular lineup? Like, what made you agree to play 50x the stakes? Well, that's exaggerated, but like 15x the stakes.
Just seemed like a good opportunity. I guess that's pretty much it.
I mean, as a benefactor, I agree.
I was going to say, Berkey, you said I buy whatever. That's why she played.
Well, no, that's not usually enough. Like, a lot of people won't. I mean, I could offer to put Lamanna in 200, 400 tomorrow, and he wouldn't say yes.
I'd say yes.
You're bad friends.
Well, that took a while.
Depends on the lineup.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
No, it doesn't.
You don't think there's some 200, 400 lineups I can
No.
do? Oh, God, that's crazy.
Is it?
Yes.
What do you think, that there's a 204 line that's reflective of the Jewel 2.5?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Once you get to such high stakes, it's like playing 1-3 again.
I mean, yeah, except the good player or players in the game are significantly better than the good players in the 1-3 pool.
And you said there's guys just shoving dark every hand.
That was an anomaly.
Okay, well, put me in that
I
one.
still didn't win.
That's because you're unlucky.
We had a guy who jammed dark for 4.5 hours.
Reading those texts were hilarious.
Lost 200,000. I didn't win a penny.
Oh my.
Should have had me in there.
Yeah. You would have folded all of my hands.
Right.
They were all ahead.
Doesn't matter. You'd have been that much richer.
He sounds like he would have won 47,000.
Yeah, it's all about the bottom line, Berk.
Right. Let's just be a very result-oriented group here. Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Anytime we can gaslight, you know.
Right. Here we are. What are you planning on getting into for the summer? What's the game plan here?
I have no idea. I just will try to keep playing bigger and bigger until it's all gone or I pass away.
It's a great. Honestly, I've been living by that.
What a gangster
for years.
What a fucking gangster! This is our Mama
Best answer
Joe.
I ever heard.
You should. I mean, I know you're a bit of a planner. You should look into this. I just bought a death notebook, and what it is it's a binder that allocates like all of your assets. It's not legal, like it's not the same as a will, but at least like leaves instructions for your next of kin. Like here are my keys.
Right.
I just recently did one of those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I should do that.
Yeah.
Can I have Trina?
So
Good answer.
That's a good girl.
Yeah, but you're not
That's
responsible.
my favorite.
I just want your jack shove.
You can have it.
I think you owe her like
And the minus
$4,000. She accepts cash.
Do you think you'll play a lot more streams moving forward? Like, should the opportunity present?
yeah, I will take opportunities as they present themselves.
Will you hustle for them? Like, would you start doing the live stream tour, so to speak, if it meant getting into games similar to this? Because I think a lot of people who play on live streams will just kind of hit up all the hosts and be like, hey, just so you know, I'm available anytime you need me. I mean, you can do it now. We'll send the clip.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I'm not sure. I haven't thought about it. I really love my routine. I'm kind of happy just going to the win every day, but
I'll make a highlight reel for you.
I should think about that maybe.
I think we really need to develop this agent of chaos character of yours. You
mean just like the group chat, like public?
No, that would be bad for. There's a reason why the messages are set to delete. No, that would be bad. I think we need to. We really need to punch up this character a bit so it's a little bit more obvious when people are watching you play. Like, we need to arm you with some dry needles every time that there's an all in at a call and somebody gets a bad beat. You just throw a little zinger in there,
Okay.
Like I know that you're thinking but never makes it to your lips, kind of thing. Yes, there's the agent of chaos.
Yes.
The Dark Knight, if you will. But it's I know there's things rattling around up there that don't make it to the lips.
It's hard because I don't really like talking, but I do have some needles, like some quiet needles, no word needles.
Oh,
Yeah.
The no word needles. Okay, these are subtle. Maybe we'll need a little interpretation for them.
What if they just let her have her phone at the table and she could just text it to the
group chat?
to the group chat,
Right.
and they just put it up on the screen. So she doesn't actually have to physically say it. She
Right.
just types it.
That actually would be really funny if we got her a marquee.
Yeah.
And just had it above her on the stream or whatever.
Right. Or just goes to the commentators. And
Yeah,
read it
yeah.
out.
At any given time, she just puts a message on the marquee.
It's kind of funny. You guys will never know how funny Mama Joe really is. This might be one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
I really regret not being able to do commentary on the stream. I wanted to because one, I think it's just a really good idea that Venetian is kind of moving forward with, and obviously Jamie has a heavy hand in this. But I don't think that with all the live streams that are out there, one of the easiest, lowest hanging fruits is to just do more women's streams and just like highlight however many women are collectively playing cash. Like if the number is low, but you can pull them together and get them featured, I think that's always a good thing. But secondary to that, it was just like I know most all of you pretty well, and obviously I know you the best. So I wanted to be able to like fill in the gaps.
Here's what she was thinking.
Yeah, right. It's like I wanted to like, you know, not because for people who don't know anyone, which by and large Ashley and Remco weren't really familiar with much of anybody at the table. It's just a lot of guessing and speculating. It's like, oh well, maybe they have history. Maybe they have. It's like these two have never met, you know, that kind of thing. So it's like when you can provide that additional layer of, okay, well, this is what's actually going on in the background of this spot. Like that Jax is by far a byproduct of like what's been happening over the last 6 hands, where she's just been all in time and time again. It's like, find a bluff then, you know, it's like, here it is. I thought one of the hands that like probably won't make the highlight reels, but I thought it was one of the most interesting ones was the King 9. Yeah. The straddle versus big blind versus small blind spot. I don't know if you remember it or not.
Yep.
Yeah, of course you do.
Of course. Yeah. I bluffed.
I'm scared.
I said all in and I didn't have it. I remember it.
Yeah. So for the listeners at home, it was I think Haley was in the small blind. She limped Jack 4 of hearts. Lindsay raised I think 3x from the middle blind with Queen 6 off. You defend King 9 off. Haley calls with Jack 4 suited. Comes Queen Jack 9 rainbow. Check. I think she bet like half pot, like 450 into 9 or 925, something like that. You call, Haley folds. Turn offsuit ace, and now she starts checking. When did you decide you were going to win this hand, no matter what?
Once you started checking.
On the flop.
Was it? Yeah. Was it on the flop or was it when she started checking?
On the flop, I was like, I'm gonna try to win this, and then on the turn, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to win this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think that speaks to like a certain, I don't want to necessarily say killer instinct, but like a certain desire to fight for every scrap.
Called dead inside.
I don't think that's at all the case, but it's one of those like your instinct is not to be afraid of that card, but rather to just say like she took a passive action on a good card for her range. Now I'm gonna pounce type of thing, and I think that this really separates the pool as a whole. Like you have many archetypes in any given pool, but there's like two very specific mindsets, and it's the person who's going to fight a lot and the person who's going to back down a lot. And the former is the one that gives all the action. The latter is the one who tries to just like benefit from it by making nuts and being able to show up at the river with a good hand, you know? And I don't know which camp Lindsay falls in, to be quite honest. Like I haven't seen her play enough, but it doesn't really matter because I just don't know how she wins this hand outside of making a queen or a 6 once we start checking the turn ace, because it's very clear you're going to be all in.
I think, I don't know. I think possible. Yeah, I don't want to try to guess what she was thinking, but I think the pool maybe gives up a lot on river, so
Yeah.
maybe that's possibly what she was hoping.
Right. Easy check call. You're just going to check back river. Although,
I don't know.
Based off of this session, I think I think I would have called with the intention of understanding that no matter what the river was, it was going to be all in. I think like I would call the turn knowing I'm lighting 1400 on fire, and if it's not a queen or a 6 on the river, just pray it's a 10 so that maybe it goes check check, or I very easily can check fold and I don't have to guess. It would have been a pretty gangster call down.
Yeah.
But I think like, well, she's not going to lose to bluffs because you're not going to bluff with a queen. But it's just like a really impossible spot, I think, where you're forced to like call with one pair in a spot where like you just have all king 10 and all 10-8. I assume anyway. I don't know. Maybe you're folding 10-8 off pre. Don't know.
It make it straight.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We don't fold hands that touch.
I love it.
Sort of touch.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough. Definitely in there.
Yeah. I thought that was a nice one. That was the one. That was my jack's hand. You know, I thought the candidate's nice. This is where we pull from. It's really well played. She's out on a limb. She's almost always going to have exactly one pair. I don't know what happens if she has an ace. Do you feel like you just get trapped?
I cry.
I cry.
Like, based off of your image at that point, do you think an ace ever folds?
Lindsay would never fold an ace, I don't think.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I don't know.
But also would never check.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't like trying to guess how people would things.
You just don't care. You got the hand to do it with, and we're running it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bet and pray.
Monkey.
Bet and pray.
I think that was my favorite hand too.
Yeah. I think it's a really good one because you attack a very specific portion of the range that like really struggles to call. If she has king queen like or queen 10, just gonna get looked up some of the time, and that's annoying. But you also just might face a turn barrel with those hands, a fair frequency. So like there might be a higher concentration to worse, which is really, really nice. And I don't think like ever Jack 10 is calling very much, or like King Jack type of hands. Just kind of like let's get in the mix. There's no two pairs here. Yada yada yada. If anybody wants any insight as to what Mama Joe and my strategy conversations were like, it was start with monkey. It was a lot of emojis actually. It was like a monkey, a poo emoji, a hand, you know, and then a hand history of bet jam. It was like, oh yeah, standard.
The game was interesting because Lynn was, you know, she was an agent of chaos in the game.
Yeah.
You don't know if she looked at her cards. You don't know what was going on.
Every game needs a Lynn for sure.
That is for sure.
Everyone needs somebody who's spicing it up, mixing it up. All live streams need this for sure. I think that like, I think that might be like the most difficult part is that women's games can feel kind of intimidating to the pool of players that you guys are drawing from, because since there's so few women that are playing cash to begin with, they're almost across the board pros, right? So it's like you don't really have as many recreationals to draw from.
Yeah, they're more like people that take the game a little more serious.
Yeah. And that's not to say, obviously, like that's not to say that there aren't people, like there isn't a hierarchy in the game. Like there's still going to be a player who's beating nearly everybody, and there's going to be a player who's not beating anyone, type of thing. But I think that for the player who like may not be beating anyone, since they're not recreational, they don't want to be in that spot. Whereas like a rec is just kind of like, whatever, I'm here to gamble. I don't give a fuck. I'll show them who's winning, type of thing. You know, and that's a lot harder to come by, because I think like independently wealthy women probably aren't particularly drawn to poker, if I had to guess, just based off of the notion of like a lot of times, and maybe I'm being like too broad with this assumption, but like a lot of times people who accrue wealth through particular skill sets like to lay off risk as they get wealthier. I'm not even saying men or women. I'm just saying in general, right? Like I see this a lot in our game where we have the absolute richest players who play our game, like the top of the top, the people who are like starting to have figures that begin with a B, are the ones that like don't want to straddle and like want to kick the game down. Like, oh, are we really playing 1-2? I mean, we've been 1-1 for a long time. You know what I mean? And it's like you really have to twist their arm to do a stand-up game like once every 6 hours. And I think it's just like ingrained in them of like, well, I worked really hard to get to this point. I don't mind taking on some risk, you know, for fun, for play, whatever, but I don't want to just like I signed up to play a 100-100 game, and now all of a sudden we're playing 1-2 with stand up, and it's like I don't want to lose $20,000 today. It's like, buddy, your net worth starts with a B. Mine starts with a T, and it's not trillion.
By the way, I'm all in.
And I'm all in right now with a very mediocre hand. Can we please gamble a little more? So I'm saying all of that just to say that, like, when you're curating a televised lineup like that, and then you add a filter to it, so women only as being the first layer, the more filters you add, the more you shrink the pool, right? So like the more that you say like, okay, it has to be women only, and then it has to be this stake level, and there's an expectation to potentially straddle. It's like with each one of those layers, the pool of players that you're pulling from shrinks further and further and further, and it's I think that I guess I'm just kind of talking out loud, but as opposed to talking in my head. But I guess like that is like maybe the biggest hurdle when it comes to organizing these sort of like feature games where the entire lineup or the majority of the lineup is female. Yeah.
Jamie was texting me asking if I had any ideas of people to have as alternates, and I was playing at the Win at the moment, and I just like I don't know why this was my idea, but I just like look around the room to see if I could find anybody. It's like, okay,
there's somebody.
I'll go through my Instagram like contacts, and I think I found like 3 people that might be in Vegas that weekend. And yeah, it's a really small pool.
I remember this was a few years ago. I played a Poker Night in America game in Florida. It was like a high stakes game, and then they ran a ladies' night the next day at 25.50, and they couldn't fill the table, so they just let Randall Emmett play.
That's of all the people.
Like they couldn't find a rec, so Randall Emmett was just like there, and they're like looking around like, we'll make an exception here.
I mean, I bet you all the ladies in the game loved it.
Well, I mean, obviously, like they had final say, and it's just like, well, what are we gonna do? Just beat each other up here? Like, let's go ahead and let Randall get in here, like pump this game up a little bit. So maybe that's the ultimate, I guess, design here is recreational men plus women equals the best format, right? Because like you have to feed the Lily and Lynn, they're not always going to be in town. They're not always going to be up to play. And, they're not always going to be, they're going to start to feel bad about being the only ones who are like the action player. I mean, so
when the action was on Lynn, there was everybody else at the table was just staring at her. Like, what are you going to do, Lynn? We're all waiting.
Well, to be fair, she's like peeling her hand like it's a baccarat hand. So, of course, like, that's going to draw attention.
Yeah, and then Lily was just ripping her a new asshole every time she could.
They were good friends.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is you need to become the whale.
I am.
She's all in.
I'm the whale. You gotta like learn to sweat the 3 sides, like it's baccarat. Monkey. Whenever the turn's coming out, there's a lot of antics here,
Not gonna pretend to be something.
You're not gonna lie to them.
Fair. Well, you don't have to pretend.
You just have to express what it already exists.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Everything that you write in the group chat, we just want you to say out loud.
No one can. It's not for public consumption. That's abundantly clear. Agent of Chaos. I like this. I think this is the branding mechanism we're going to go with here.
It's a long nickname.
Wow. AOC.
That's a little loaded. That's kind of loaded there.
Oh man.
I can see you running for politics. Are you ever going to get a job again? Like a real job?
I hope not.
You don't miss it?
Something went wrong if you did, right?
No, I don't miss it. Actually, when I worked at a smaller company, that was really fun. I do miss that.
That's the one that you sold to Yahoo? Yeah. Like building stuff and having it turn into something bigger. That seems desirable.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's also rewarding. Like it's nice to celebrate these wins. And I think it's something that we collectively as a community don't do enough of. Like we're so head down onto the next type of mindset. But like, sometimes the wins are few and far between. Trust me. I know.
You're gonna win a day, Burke.
I probably will. And you know what? It's not going to make a fucking difference.
It's not. No.
Not even.
And if you lose, it's not gonna make a difference either.
That's true too. I mean, it will.
Yeah,
At some point.
At some point, you run out of money.
At some point, there is a tipping point. Like winning, it will make a slight difference.
Right.
It just won't make a difference in the way I perceive the world.
I'll tell you what the difference will be. How he responds to the group chat in a few hours.
Okay.
I fucking lost again. I can't fucking win in these games. I don't know. I don't get it. I play perfect. I don't get it. And then...
Is that what you sound like?
No. No. I don't even bemoan anything in the group chat unless it's something that I feel like I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And lately, I feel like I'm seeing things I've never seen before. Like, I've never seen someone shove dark for 4 hours and not allow me to win a pot. I've just never seen, like, it's impossible for somebody to lose 20 buy-ins in a game and you never win a pot.
Didn't you win one when he had half a buy-in?
Yeah. It was a quarter of a buy-in.
Quarter of a buy-in? Yeah, you got that
$4,500 and I had
there
kings. And I had a sweat somehow. He had Jack 5 on a Jack high board.
Always a sweat perk.
Like, how is this not all in pre? You shoved every hand.
My bigger thing is that you said this said person was running it twice each time.
Every time. He wanted to get the most juice for his squeeze.
I mean, it's great for everybody else at the table, but my God, if we're just jamming blind, just run this shit.
It didn't matter. It was great for everybody else at the table because it kept the antics going on longer. But the pots were so small, I don't think anybody cared about the variance. We're playing 1-2. He's jamming at most like 10K at a time. Now, don't get me wrong. He ran it up a couple times. Mm-hmm. He spun it, got it in for like 55K a time or two.
Just not looking?
When I saw the hands at Showdown, I would guess. I think he was looking. I mean, he was definitely looking some of the time.
Okay.
But when he didn't look, he would express that he didn't look. And I can confirm he probably wasn't looking in those moments. Like there was a 9 deuce off in there that I you know what? Like when you show up with the 9 deuce off, no.
Montana banana.
I wasn't involved in that hit. But when you show up with the 9 deuce off and an all in pot pre, you had to have not looked because no one has the courage to look at 9 deuce off and say,
"This is the one.
This is the one where I do it." Wait till they get a load of me on this one, especially like when you've been jamming, so it's not like you're getting it through,
right?
It's not like the Jack 10-0 is folding any longer. So it's like when you peer down at the 9-2 and you're like, well, there's one worse hand than this because 7 deuce is at least a bounty. So I have the second worst hand in the game. We're in there.
Yeah,
that takes some real cojones, real agent of chaos, if you will.
Something that's never happening.
Perhaps this is your next shtick. Let's get you back in the 1-3 streets, jamming blind.
No.
They hate that.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
I know.
Mm-hmm.
they don't want this isn't real poker. I don't know if you guys know Markus Gonzalves, but his alter ego is Snable, and he'll just get like super drunk. And he plays like a superhero, like the best he ever is capable of playing. And then there's a tipping point where he gets too drunk and it all goes away. But when he snables, what he'll often do is he'll take a couple $1,000s in $100 chips and he'll go to the 1-3 table and he'll just do a splash pot. So he'll just like walk up as the dealer is like pitching out the hand and he'll just like throw 400 in the middle. And he said the amount of times that people get mad at that.
What?
Wait,
why?
What? He's not playing the hand.
No. He's just watching. It's like throwing chum into a water piranha.
It's because the nits know that they could never win that pot.
Not only that, but now they have to face like real variants. Like somebody's just jamming and they have tens.
Right. Exactly. Now they have a tough decision that they're probably going to make the wrong choice, the wrong decision.
But on top of that, he told me one day he threw 500 in the middle of a 1-3 game, and the big blind got a walk.
Oh my God.
What?
And he said he was so happy for the guy because it was like this old man coffee who just like, this is so incredible.
Imagine being the small blind. I wouldn't even look at my hand. Yeah. Imagine being under the gun. I wouldn't look at my hand.
Like he said routinely, like he'll do this and like, you know, it'll be like a one-on-one confrontation. Like it's not like people are just like, oh, I have $112 in front of me and there's 500 in the middle. Like all in, all in, all in, all in, all in. No, it'll just go like full jam.
I think the bigger takeaway is that just it goes to show you how many people are not rolled to be playing these games. Because if these people were all properly rolled, like I'd be in there.
I don't think
it's a role thing. Yeah. I think that they're there for a different reason. They're not there to make money.
Yeah.
They're there to like learn and like play the game. Yeah. This isn't playing the game. I mean, at its core, it's playing the game because the whole reason to play the game is to take plus EV spots, right? But that's not the framework of how people are onboarded into poker. The framework is make a hand that qualifies and then beat another hand that qualifies at showdown, right? So it's all just like, it's very much showdown poker. It's not about like, you know, they'll find a creative bluff here and there because they're desperate to or whatever.
I don't want to do this. I just want to play some real poker. Why are you putting money in the pot?
That's Bob Wright whenever we talk about stand-up games. This is real poker! I'm not kidding. That's what he gets mad. He gets mad and animated. This isn't real poker. Oh, 500 a man? 1,000. Let's do 10,000 a man. Like it definitely turns into this. I'm still richer than all of you. So if you guys want to fuck around and find out, we'll do it.
The best part about Bob Wright is I'll see him at fucking South Point playing 1-3 at 7 in the morning.
He's everything that I just said. Like he's not there to make all of the money. He's there because he loves the game of poker and he wants to play it as he's learned it. You know, like he wants to fuck on some people. He wants to drill a 2-outer and, you know, inflict some pain.
Jesus, I'll never forget the day I watched him 2-out somebody. He just stared at him. Just didn't fucking lose. Like, he didn't lose a second. He just stared at him as he drilled a 2-outer and watched this man's pain. It was like, it had to be like 7:30 in the morning. He just fucking has his newspaper in hand, and he's just fucking taking this man's soul with him. And he enjoyed every fucking moment of it.
My favorite was he used to play this rotating 5-10 game with us that Hollis would organize, and we would play it at the Tropicana once or twice a week. This is back when like Jamie Gold was there and stuff, and he would come in every single time. Every time it's like a 3K max game. We're playing for a little while. He'll lose a pot or whatever. He'll go, no, it's nothing like the market today. Lost $6 million. Or I'll just like pull out his phone and be like, market was good today. 350,000. All sitting there with fucking crumbs in front of us. Like, we get it, Bob. Okay, this is a small game for you. God damn it.
The guy's a legend.
He's the best.
When it comes down to it.
He's the absolute best. Nobody does it better. Maybe Mama Joe. This is what you have to aspire to. By the way, you don't know this because you came to Vegas way too late, but your nickname is paying homage to the OG Mama Joe.
Who's Mama
from
Joe?
The Venetian.
I don't know.
This little lady was the greatest of all time. The absolute GOAT.
Oh my gosh.
What? You know her?
That might be the lady Mama Joe follows. No.
Last week, I was playing at the Wynn, and someone addressed someone as Mama Joe. I thought it was me.
Yeah.
And then there's like this lady standing next to me, and she turns around to talk to that person. I'm like, what?
Little Asian lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was her? Like little, like short bob hair? Kind of?
Short hair, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably her. Like probably in her early 70s now. Late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's the legend.
I was like,
the OG.
I didn't know that.
She used to come. First thing she would do, she would sit down. She kept her chips in her purse. She would take her chips out of her purse, And then she had this is so quintessential Mama Joe. She had this like hanger that she brought with her everywhere, and it hooked to the poker table so she could hang her purse on it.
Right.
Smart.
Every single day. Like that was
like a little
routine.
strap.
Yeah. Every day. So now she has her purse hanging here. This tiny little Asian woman pulls up to the table. Sweetest person on earth. Like just every day, $1,000 in chips, dust it off, right back in the purse. Like this is your future. This is where you're headed.
That's nice.
I always wondered where the name came from. I thought it was because I got my car maintained regularly and
Oh, I made
You're
up
the only
name.
adult in the in the
Time out.
chat.
I made up the name.
yeah.
No, it's just because you're a gangster and you're our mama. You know, you're the only adult.
I see. I would not affiliate Mama with gangster.
No, me either.
Well,
I'm also not confident Conrad made up the name.
I want that.
Yeah, he had 1,000%.
It's
Well,
funny
not
because
even fucking close.
like I didn't even know they gave you that nickname, and they were talking about Mama Joe, and I thought you guys were talking about the Mama Joe.
Right.
And then they're like, no, Jouhan. I'm like, what? I was like, oh, she's Mama Joe now too? Okay.
It's even funny. I didn't know there was a previous Mama Joe.
I mean, she fits the profile.
Yeah.
She carries a giant blue fucking bag everywhere she goes.
Got the rebuyers is ready.
She has like little tiny silent needles just getting thrown your way at all times under her breath every time she gets stacked. She's blasting off. I mean, really, she's just Mama Joe reincarnated. By the way, if the original Mama Joe's out there, would love to have you on at some point.
God,
like,
yeah.
At some point in the next,
her
in the
and
next 8
Billy
days.
like had, her and DGAF like had the best back and forth of all time. Like they had such a mutual crush on one another for being 30 years apart in age. it was so perfect. Those games were so great back then. Oh my god,
yeah.
you would have loved 2009. Oh, would you have loved 2009? You would have fit in so perfectly. Monkeys everywhere. Even Lamanna could win.
Yeah, it's crazy. Once in a while.
He's always been in it.
Yeah. Tortoise, okay?
Yeah.
Get right.
Torting it up.
Torting it up.
All right. I got to get out of here. I got to head down to the Bellagio.
Right.
Mama Joe, thank you so much for joining us and filling in for Jesse C. Your word quota was not quite up to par, but I know you did your best. And I know for every word spoken, there was 10 thought. So we appreciate the filter. The audience doesn't, but we here at the Only Friends podcast do. That's going to do it for us. We are going to be joined by a special guest tomorrow, Dustin Iannotti. He was the one who put out the Twitter thread last week regarding the direction poker content's headed. So he'll be joining us noon Pacific. We might even have Jesse back in the building.
Wow.
If he doesn't forget that we have a show. We'll see. Thank you guys. We'll see you all then.
Later,
Peace.
squad.
Bye.
Peace.